It's a very interesting topic, unconscious bias, and it's something that people are becoming more aware of and more questioning of. But what exactly is it? And that's where we're going to start this webinar today, in understanding what we mean by unconscious bias, and also, importantly, what impact it has. So how unconscious bias leads to prejudice and stereotyping occurring. And we're also going to take the opportunity to think about some specific legal issues and how unconscious bias links into discrimination. Because one interesting thing about discrimination is that it quite often is not intentional, and it's something that someone does and they don't think about the repercussions of what they're doing, or maybe they don't even think about the motive behind what they're doing. What is prejudice? Let's start off by having a common understanding of what we mean by this. Back in 1995, Brown gave a useful definition of prejudice as the holding of derogatory social attitudes or cognitive beliefs, the expression of negative affect, or the display of hostile or discriminatory behaviour towards members of a group on account of their membership of that group. That's quite a long definition, but let's just pull out the key points. It's derogatory views or beliefs, and they are based on opinions that we have gathered about that group. We then have the 9 protected characteristics, and these are the grounds on which you can't discriminate. And this, I think, is where we see some imbalance between discrimination legislation and unconscious bias, because what discrimination legislation is saying is, here's 9 grounds on which you can't treat somebody less favourably. But if you treat somebody less favourably because of the football team they support, because they're ugly, because of their regional accent, or because, as one of my students once said to me, because of bright ginger hair, he said he'd been teased about it since the day he was born, then that's not covered by discrimination legislation.